So it's all real? I mean, flying saucers, Area 51?
But they're real, but most of what you know, that's legend. The truth is really pretty mundane.
They didn't look very mundane when they surrounded our truck.
No, I imagine they didn't.
So who are they?
Well, we don't know exactly. We knew going back to 46 that they were here. Maybe the first atomic tests attracted them, I don't know. We couldn't communicate or find them or do anything about it, really. Not until the crash. That facilitated an introduction.
Well, where are they from?
We don't know.
What do they want?
We're not really sure.
If this is our time to get answers, I can't say I'm very impressed.
I understand, but you've got to understand that we've had practically no luck communicating with these people. We can't learn their language, and their attempts to learn ours has been spotty. We try to understand what they're after, but none of it makes sense. It's ironic. In the movies, we make these creatures out to have 10 heads or 1,000,000 eyes, but inside they're basically human. The truth is just the opposite.
They look like us.
But they aren't. Imagine trying to communicate with someone with no common ground, someone who smells colors or can't understand how we can move from indoors to out without doubling over in pain because the air molecules sound so different. We've tried to learn from them, but that was a farce. And all they ever seemed to want from us was biological material.
So cattle mutilations?
Are real, yes.
And abductions?
That was our one and only success communicating with them. We finally got them to realize they couldn't just snatch people.
But the man in the snowbank? What about him?
Well, the abductions had stopped. But they started again recently. We couldn't really do anything to stop them, not unless they were willing to be stopped. See, in the 90s, the government was ready to call the whole relationship a wash, hoped they would stay out of sight, try to minimize their exposure to the public. We had never really learned anything from them anyway, just some things about theoretical physics and aircraft design. Well, then it all changed. We discovered that we needed them.
What happened? What changed it?
The same thing that changed everything else. September 11th. We needed technology. We needed surveillance. We needed people that could function underground for long periods of time. And for the first time ever, we needed them. And they were willing to help for a price.
For a price. What price?
Dad.
Yes, honey.
You have to find the place where they took me. There are experiments in the basement.
Oh, no. Not again.
Do you know about this? These experiments?
We've known forever. Rice? Smith. Get down to Breckenridge right away. We've got a report of a Type 6 lab in place. I know about the treaty. I don't care. Obviously, Victor doesn't care either. Now look, get down there now. And make sure you have medical people with you.
Who's Victor?
Victor? Oh, in Vietnam they called the enemy Charlie. These are classified visitors. First letter V.
So you gave them people.
Look, they mean no harm. They're just scientists.
What about the man in the snowbank? He's dead.
That's under investigation.
And who ordered the abduction of my children? Your people or theirs?
I have to go.
I think that's a reasonable question.
Look, when the twins are ready, just leave. You don't bother checking out with anyone.
Smith, I think that's a reasonable question.
Yes, it is. Goodbye.
Smith! I think that's a reasonable question.
We tried so hard.
Tried to do what?
To make people understand. We said from the very beginning this was going to be a hard, long fight. That we were going to associate with people that weren't nice.
But that was overseas. You can't be talking about in this country.
Where do you think the men who flew the planes on 9/11 were hiding? It's all in country, Laura. It always was in country. Don't you people understand? There is no more freedom. There is no more protection of privacy. It hasn't been here since the invention of the microchip. Most people don't care because the illusion of freedom remains. We get up, we go to work, we watch football on Sunday, we watch our kids grow up, and nothing tells us we aren't free. But as long as we're not threatened, no one's going to look very close, are they?
I don't accept this. You don't have the right. No government has the right to put its people in harm's way like this.
If they wanted you, we could not stop them.
That's a cop-out. They've already proven they can be reasoned with.
Do you know what they're capable of? How much information their computers can compile in a second? When they're done, this country will have an electronic security grid so strong, it will be like having the Great Wall of China on all of our borders.
And that's your idea of freedom?
My idea of freedom? Your idea of freedom? None of that matters anymore, Jim. Do you even remember what it was like on September 12th? September 13th? What the country was like? What the country demanded? They were asking us to do the impossible, to turn a continent with 10,000 miles of unguardable border into a fortress. And we were told to do it regardless of the cost. Oh, and incidentally, this plan doesn't cost the American taxpayer one thin dime.
What happens to us?
What?
We know all these things. We know about the basement. We saw the aliens. We saw what they could do. Are you just going to let us go?
Look, I've studied this family. What you wanted was answers. Okay, now you have them.
Yeah, but are they the truth?
Well, you'll need to look into your own gut for that. Don't look for documentation. There isn't any. A society with a brain capacity several thousand times ours doesn't need to write things down, you know.
So you're just gonna let us go?
Yeah. You know the truth. You're four of very few people who do. I promise you they will leave you alone.
And if we try to expose them?
Look, there's a lot of UFO stories out there. What'd make yours any different than the ones that you read in the checkout line? My advice to you is take the government's apology, secret though it might be, go home, and forget all about it. Satisfied?
Hardly. But I guess it'll have to do.
Look, go back to your lives. It's not so bad, is it?
What do we do now?
Well, do you believe him?
I don't know what to believe.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
All of it. It's all true.
Bobby, you couldn't possibly know that.
But I do. That's the thing. I do.
Sean, come here. Here, gather round, get close. We knew this was a fallen world, right? We knew there was no paradise on Earth, no matter how hard we tried, no matter how much we wanted it. Well, then we have to do about this what we do about everything else. The best we can.
With what we've got.
Right. And we begin in the same place that we always begin. Here, circle up. Sean, would you like to start?
Heavenly Father, thank you that we've come this far safely. We ask that you
Download complete. The Icebox Radio Theater is now your home for
Is that my cue?
Comedy!
The Icebox Radio Theater. It is hilarious. Shut up. Your place for the best comedy we can find in the subarctic.
Whoso findeth a wife, findeth a good thing.
Quite. Visit us at iceboxradio.org. The Icebox Radio Theater, bringing the Northlands comedy to the world.
I hereby relieve myself.
www.iceboxradio.org.
This has been Snowbank, a 4-part miniseries. Presented by Icebox Radio Theater. Part 4 starred Anna Remus as Bobby and Brock Cronky as Sean. Jim was played by Ben Utter, and Becky Aitken played Laura. Agent Smith was portrayed by Gene G. In all 4 episodes of Snowbank, 23 characters were portrayed by 15 actors. The script was written by Jeffrey Adams. Our engineer was Stephen Adams. Music by Hollis Higgins. Broadcast and production facilities provided by station KXPR International Falls. This program is copyright 2004 by the Icebox Radio Theater, which is solely responsible for its content. To comment on this program, write to Icebox Radio, 908 3rd Street, International Falls, Minnesota, 56649. Or visit us on the web at www.icebox.storiesonmp3.com. This is Neil Smith speaking.